Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Higher Education and Employment Advancement Committee. I need to mute myself. All right. Well, welcome, everyone. We have a pretty full agenda with 16 bills that we anticipate taking action on. I would just ask anyone who's joining us virtually to make sure especially if you're going to be voting, make sure that your camera works. So you can be visible when you vote with our clerk. So let's see if there's any opening comments from my co-chair, Representative Haddad.
None, except I think this is the bulk of our work. I think we'll probably do today. There are a couple of additional bills that might be held over until that I know are held over until a future meeting. But with 16 bills, I think that this will be represent, I think, a nice body of work for the committee. I look forward to today's meeting.
Yeah, thank you. Now, I'm excited to be able to move some bills along that address student debt, address affordability and accessibility. I think there's some great things in a number of these bills, and I appreciated working collaboratively with colleagues here today. So, Representative, any comments?
I agree. Let's get started.
All right, and I do not see Senator Kelly here yet. So, okay. So I'm going to begin by building a consent calendar, your permission. So I would like a motion to create a consent calendar. All right. Thank you. So Representative Case, seconded by Representative Cooley. Okay. So our first item for the consent calendar, we'll do a motion for proposed House Bill number 6355, an act increasing the number of student members of the Board of Trustees of the University of Connecticut. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
All right. Is there a second? Okay. So Representative Haddad, Cooley. Unless there's any objection, we will move that to the consent calendar. Okay. Okay, two separate ones. Okay, gotcha. My apologies. So we're going to need a motion to JF it first, and then we would move it to the consent calendar.
I'd be happy to make the motion to JF item number 5.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay, and we have a second. That's to JF it. And now I'll ask for a motion to move it to the consent calendar.
Motion to move it to the consent calendar.
Thank you, Representative. Second. Thank you, Representative. All right, so without any objection, number 5, House Bill 6355 has been moved to the consent calendar. Now we'll move on to number 6. This is, we're going to entertain a motion to JF and sending this to appropriations. And this is House Bill number 6564. An act concerning the unfunded pension liability portion of the fringe benefit costs for employees of the constituent units of the state system of higher education. And again, a motion to JF this to appropriations.
Yes, so moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Second, thank you, Representative. And now I'd like a motion to place this item on the consent calendar. Great. Thank you, Senator.
Second.
Thank you, Representative. All right. So without any objection, number 6 is on the consent calendar. Moving to number 8, Senate Bill 1043. Need a motion to JF this bill and act concerning the Roberta Willis Scholarship Program. Is there a motion? All right. Thank you. And thank you, Representative. Okay, so that was the motion to JF it. Now we're looking for a motion to move item number 8 to the consent calendar.
So moved.
Great, Representative. Great, and we have a second as well. And this, I think Representative Rochelle and Senator Marr. Okay, so without any objections, number 8 is on the consent calendar.
They'd appreciate it if we said names.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're on number 9 here. House Bill 6771. And this is an act implementing the recommendations of the Connecticut Open Educational Resource Coordinating Council. And we're looking for a motion to, and there's JFS language, I should note, LCO number 5648. Be looking for a motion to JF.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to JFS that language.
Representative Haddad, thank you. And a second? Thank you, Representative Haynes. Okay. And now looking for a motion to put number I-9 on the consent calendar.
So moved.
Thank you, Senator Mar, with the motion to put that on the consent calendar. Great. And okay, and we have a second. Without, is there any objection? No? Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Representative.
I would just like to point out that the definition of open source includes that open source is defined as electronic less than regular textbooks. I do remind that open source is traditionally in higher education meant free of charge, like the Gutenberg project. I just wanted to note that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Representative. Okay, so we had no objection to moving number 9, House Bill 6771 to the consent calendar. Next on our list for consideration for consent calendar is number 13, Senate Bill number 982. There is JFS language, LCO number 5653. It's an act implementing the governor's budget recommendations concerning higher education. I'll be looking for a motion to JF. Thank you, Representative Hayes, with a motion. Second. Second, Senator Mar, thank you. All right, now we'll be looking for a motion to move this to the consent calendar. Representative Brown, I believe, yes.
Seconded.
And second, Representative Cooley. All right. So no objection, then we're going to be moving number 13 to the consent calendar. Okay. Next is number 14, Senate Bill 1104, an act implementing the recommendations of the Connecticut Health and Educational Facilities Authority. Again, looking for a motion. Representative Case, this is a motion to JF it, I should say. Second. Senator Mar with a second. Okay, and now looking for a motion to move item number 14 to the consent calendar. Representative Case with Representative Haynes with the second. Seeing no objection, we're going to move number 14, Senate Bill number 1104 to the consent calendar. Finally, number 16, House Bill 6567, an act requiring public institutions, higher educations to establish a policy regarding freedom of expression on campus. Is there a motion to JF it? Thank you, Representative Haynes. And a
Seconded.
second. Representative Rochelle, second. All right, now looking for a motion to add this to our consent calendar. Senator Mar and seconded Representative Haynes. Thank you. Okay, no objection. Then we're moving number 16 to the consent calendar. And why don't we do we might do a second consent calendar later on, but why don't we do, I'm going to ask the clerk to do a roll call vote on our first consent calendar.
Rep Haddad,
Sorry, Representative Haddad votes yes.
Senator Slapp,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes,
Rep. Haynes votes yes.
Senator Kelly, Representative Rochelle, Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Iseno, Representative Brown, Representative Case,
Representative Case, yes.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley votes yes.
Representative D'Amico, Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu,
Yes.
Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney, Representative Paris, Representative Scott, Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir,
Rep. Weir is yes.
Senator Kelly. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We are going to leave the votes open for most likely an hour after the meeting concludes and we do our business. So we would stand in recess then at the end, most likely for 1 hour. But we'll confirm that when we get to the end. So we're going to go back up now to section number 3 of the agenda, which is in number 1 on that proposed bill. House Bill 5027, an act establishing a pilot program for student health services at the University of Connecticut campus located at Avery Point. Would entertain a motion to JF that bill.
Second.
Representative Turco is moved and seconded by Representative Haddad. Is there any discussion on this bill? Representative Cooley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have certain reservations regarding the cost because this is a commuter campus with a very small student population. Given the problems of people paying for college to begin with, is this a cost that's going to get passed on to the students? And is this really necessary for that campus to fulfill its mission on educating these students who are all commuter? Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. And I would note to members that we oftentimes get a much better picture of the cost, the fiscal impact of a bill once it is JF'd, and then our Office of Fiscal Analysis can take a look at that. So we hope to have even more information after this bill is approved by this committee. Any other comments on this bill? No. If not, then I would ask the clerk to call the roll, please, on proposed House Bill number 5027.
Representative Haddad, Senator Slapp,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes, Senator Kelly, Representative Rochelle, Senator Mar, Representative Arceno,
Representative Arceno vote yes.
Representative Brown, Representative Case,
Representative Case votes no.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley votes no.
Representative D'Amico, Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu, Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney, Representative Paris, Representative Scott, Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir.
Rep. Weir is no.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next on our agenda, proposed House Bill number 5232, an act prohibiting public institutions of higher education from receiving money for introducing students to online gambling. And I'd be looking for a motion to JF this bill. Representative Farrar and Representative Rochelle with the second. Any comments on this bill? Okay. Yes, Representative Cooley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to reiterate my prior comments regarding this bill, that we have to be very, very careful in the final language, that we don't get into a problem in which UConn, our state universities end up not being able to compete, at, let's say, the Mohegan Sun, or take donations from Mohegan Sun or Mashantucket Foxwoods. We don't want to close those avenues, so that this bill really needs to be tightly written for active solicitation versus passive. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative. And I think those comments are, are spot on. This requires us to kind of thread the needle and to be very cognizant of potentially unintended consequences. So there are some folks who would like to see this bill go farther in terms of passive advertisements, and I'm sympathetic in many ways to those arguments, but I think we do need to be careful. So this is a positive step forward, and certainly there might be more room, whether it be in this session or subsequent ones, to go even further. But I think this is in a relatively good place now. Any other comments about this bill? No? Okay. Yes, Representative.
So would DCP be the one looking at this? Because you're looking at online gambling. So online is basically off your cell phone and wherever. So if somebody's advertising on there, would DCP have control of that since they have gambling?
I don't believe so. I mean, this is just a prohibition on, universities or institutions of higher ed, direct solicitation of gambling services. I mean, are you suggesting that DCP should have some role in this?
Yeah, because do we have any teeth, or do we have any people out there that can enforce this in the higher ed area? DCP is the one who does gambling, and we worked on the online gambling bill with them. Would they be able to shut it off from them doing any online advertising through the online gambling that we just passed last year?
Representative?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I would just point out that what this legislation does is it prohibits an institution, a public institution, from profiting off of direct solicitation. And so what we're trying to do here is to prevent an online gambling company, FanDuel, or I don't even know what the other ones are called, from engaging in a contractual agreement with the universities so that the universities would provide email or other contact information for students so that the company could directly solicit those things. And that's not so pie in the sky. That's happened. There's a news article about an arrangement that just like that occurred with Louisiana State University. And that's, I think, what motivated the sponsor of the legislation to put it. So it's a prohibition on the university from engaging into a contractual relationship that would use the private personal information of students for direct solicitation of by a gambling company, an online gambling company.
And I agree. I think it's laudable that we're doing this. I don't know how we do this with the mobile app and stopping, as Representative Cooley just said, the institutions that we have for gambling here in Connecticut from stopping advertising and whatever unintendedly with the university and college sports. That would be my concern, because that we wouldn't know that, and they wouldn't actually have to contract, but they still could give money to the university, as they do. Because we also have games that are hosted at their facilities.
Representative Haddad.
Yeah, thank you. The text of the bill in line 3 says that it's about a prohibition of receiving of profiting or receiving money in exchange for allowing such sponsor or company or entity to directly solicit students. And so it's that exchange which essentially has to be a contractual agreement that is prohibited by this bill. And I think it gets at some of the complexities of what we're talking about here. I don't think would be possible. Students are adults. They have their own phones. They can gamble if they choose to engage in that legal activity, but this prohibits institutions from participating in that and promoting it and profiting from it. That's what the bill does.
And I agree, but so this can stop people from doing contracts and just giving money. And it's an unintended consequence, but we could bypass the contracts and just accept donations. And they could still do the online gambling. I'm trying to look at it and see how we tighten this up. That's all.
Thank you, Representative. Any other comments? Representative Turco?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've expressed in this committee previously my concern with passive advertising for gambling or other services that are intended for more an adult population, 21 and over. I understand that this legislation is dealing mostly with direct solicitation. And as Representative Cooley mentioned, that we have to be careful. It doesn't infringe upon the university's contractual agreements. It has with different organizations and companies, depending on where it plays in the Excel Center, in Mohegan Sun, and even at times, on campus. So I am sensitive to that. I know that these agreements may already be in place and don't want to make it overly burdensome for our public universities. But I do hope that our public universities will be very careful in what passive advertising they knowingly allow on their campuses, where in facilities, on websites that are specifically targeted for and used by our student population, such as the cafeteria, student service areas, even the athletic facilities that are mainly on campus. I do hope the universities will be careful with that and that we do not start seeing advertisements for gambling or cannabis or other adult products and services for 21 and over, on campuses, which mainly have a population of undergraduates. So while this bill may not specifically deal with that and is intended more for direct solicitation, I just would like to ask our universities to be careful at this. We are trying to set a good example for our youth, make sure that they have responsible habits, are not utilizing products they shouldn't when they are underage. And just want to, even if this legislation does not have any language regarding that, I just like to hope that our universities will take that in mind going forward. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative. Senator Kelly?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And you may have answered this question, but if you have, I apologize. If you haven't, then I'm asking it for the first time. Does the University of Connecticut or any other Connecticut public institution allow student information to be shared with any company to have access to the student body for sales?
Yeah, go ahead, Representative.
I can't think of one, but that would be a question better posed to the system itself. The system office representative in the building is sort of shaking his head no in the room. And so I think that he suspects that the answer is no, at least for the state university system and the community colleges. That's the best I can answer at this point.
Okay, I mean, outside, I think the subject of academics, like if there's a scholarly journal, there are maybe test taking entities that help you in an academic endeavor. I think those would be appropriate, but to me, having student access to anything, I mean, this bill limits it to gambling, but it really should be widespread. I don't understand why we would just have to pick it out for gambling. I would think that we would want this across the board, no sharing of student information, but for something that might actually be ancillary to their academic experience. Not really experience, but the scholarly aspect of the experience.
Yeah, thanks, Senator Kelly. Yeah, I don't think those two things are necessarily mutually exclusive. In other words, this bill could be a positive step forward and help protect students and their private information from being shared, and also protect them from from online gambling. And I know Representative Haddad, I think you want to jump in, but I think a broader conversation might be warranted, and maybe that's a good bill for next year. We can have a public hearing on it and see if there are any uses that maybe we can't think of right now, and maybe we do want to crack down on that, so to speak. But I think it's a very reasonable thing to be asking. Representative Dad?
Yeah, I agree. I think when I think about student privacy, I think of, FERPA, the federal law that governs the privacy of students. And I think that, as I was reading, this bill and thinking about your question, I wonder if LSU didn't in fact sort of take in its contractual sort of not violate FERPA by sending the email solicitation themselves, as opposed to releasing the student data to a private company, which I think would be problematic on a number of different levels, and certainly in its terms of its compliance with student privacy laws. So I think your question makes me, think that we probably can circle back and think about ways that we can both strengthen the legislation that's in front of us, but also think about expanding it to cover other situations. I suspect that when the university or any of our universities or colleges share want to provide information to students, that they do that themselves without sharing student data. But that seems to be problematic in and of itself. And I think that seems to be the spirit of your question. I think, so I think that there's probably some additional work that we could do in this legislation or have a broader conversation as we move through the session.
Great. Any other comments on this bill? No, if not, I would ask the clerk to call the roll on proposed bill 5232. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Representative Haddad,
Representative Haddad votes yes.
Senator Slapp,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes,
Rep. Haynes says yes.
Senator Kelly,
Senator Kelly votes yes.
Representative Rochelle, Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Iseno,
Representative Arsena votes yes.
Representative Brown,
Representative Brown votes yes.
Representative Case,
Representative Case votes yes.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley votes yes.
Representative D'Amico, Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu, Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney, Representative Paris, Representative Scott, Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir.
Rep. Weir is yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to item number 3, Senate Bill 8. Be looking for a motion to JF this bill and act concerning higher education affordability and graduate retention. Senator Mar with the move. Great. Senator Brown seconds. Any comments or questions on Senate Bill 8? No. All right.
I do have questions.
Yes, Representative.
Question that I had, thanks, was in regards to the subsidy for UConn Health and CSCU. They were marked as a block grant, but they're not going to be any longer. But why was that? Why was it ever that way in the first place, I guess was the question, because we had some concerns and questions about that. In section 14. Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, that is. All right. Never mind then. Thank you. Thanks for the clarification.
Any other comment on Senate Bill 8? No. If not, Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Representative Haddad. Senator Slack,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes. Senator Kelly,
Senator Kelly votes yes.
Representative Rochelle,
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Arseno,
Representative Arseno votes yes.
Representative Brown,
Representative Brown votes yes.
Representative Case,
Representative Case, pass.
can you repeat that?
Pass.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley, yes.
Representative D'Amico,
Representative D'Amico votes yes.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu. I apologize, Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney. Representative Paris,
Representative Paris votes yes.
Representative Scott. Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir,
Rep Weir is yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now moving on to number 4, Senate Bill number 1108.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Representative Lanu.
I would like to vote on the prior bill.
Great. Madam Clerk, were you able to record Representative Lanu's vote?
Yes,
I'm gonna vote yes.
Okay. Thank you, Representative. Senate Bill 1108, an act concerning access to reproductive health care by students of public institutions of higher education. It's JFS language, LCO number 5664. Is there a motion? Representative Farrar moved. Was it Representative Brown? Second. Is there comments on this bill? Senator Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you explain to us what the JFS language is?
Yeah, the JFS language, and my colleagues can jump in if they want. It specifies a licensed healthcare facility. So that is essentially the change.
Why was that necessary?
The reason that it's necessary is to specify that students are receiving accurate information, and they are being referred to a place where they can learn about all their options.
Okay. As I understand the bill, when you read section 2, reproductive health care services, has the same meaning as 52-571M. 52-571M does not have that corresponding language. So why are we making this bill different than the definition that's already in statute of reproductive health care services? Why do we want this to be an outlier?
Well, I'm happy to answer, and I can have my colleagues if they want to, but we thought it was important to include in this language to be very clear in this bill that, students would be, have the option when in terms of transportation and the planning for there to be a licensed healthcare facility. And again, to make sure that they have all the options presented to them and services and kind of a holistic approach. So that's why we included in this bill.
Well, actually, this would not encourage a holistic approach. According to 52-571M, reproductive health care services, is verbatim from the statute, includes all medical, surgical, counseling, or referral services relating to the human reproductive system, including but not limited to services related to pregnancy, contraception, or the termination of a pregnancy, and all medical care relating to treatment of gender dysphoria, and then it goes into other areas. So for instance, by putting in licensed healthcare providers, what you would be denying students is information such as giving them information that states that upon pregnancy, they could use that as a qualifying event to purchase healthcare insurance to improve birth outcomes and to get appropriate neonatal and prenatal care. This to me would be something you'd want to expose the student body to, not to limit it from.
Thank you, Senator Kelly. Any other comments on this? Representative Farrar.
Thank you, the chair.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I think I have the floor. I asked the
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize
question.
that was a question.
Stated, why would you want to do that?
I'm going to defer to Representative Farrar. I think she was ready to
She's going to answer my
apply.
question.
Well, I think I've already stipulated why we made the change, and obviously that response is not acceptable to you, but I did answer that that's why the JFS, that's how the origins of the JFS language came from.
Okay, then, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make an amendment. I would like to propose an amendment that would on line 23, after quote, to cover such costs, to amend the bill to add and number 6, provide information and materials on pregnancy being a qualified event for health insurance coverage in the state. We have copies of that for the members so that they can see it in writing.
We're going to have the committee stand in recess for a moment so we can review Senator Kelly's proposal. Thank you.
Yeah. Gonna need a second. We're gonna need a second. I do. Go ahead.
Thank you for people's patience here as we consider the amendment. I do think there needs to be a second, right? Is there a second? Representative Haynes, seconds. Are there any comments or questions about the amendment? Yes, Representative. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Senator
just
Kelly.
like to explain.
Sure.
When I was chairman of insurance in 17 and 18, this was an initiative that the insurance committee voted out and passed into law that made Connecticut the second state in the country that enabled women to purchase health insurance upon becoming pregnant. That really was born out of the fact that if you have prenatal, neonatal care, you improve birth outcomes, the health of the mother, the health of the baby. In addition, during that process, what also became abundantly clear from the information that was received was that particularly women of color were, from a healthcare perspective, not treated with the same outcomes. There was disparate care that I was happy to see in years subsequent, where the General Assembly passed a review into this area so that we're going to start to study that more robustly and look at what is actually happening. I think this is just good policy. It's something that I think is important. Other states have now followed Connecticut's lead on this issue. And I certainly want to make sure that the students in our academic institutions would also have access and knowledge that this qualifying event is out there for individuals to purchase healthcare insurance.
Okay, thank you for those comments and for explaining the amendment. We do look at it as a friendly amendment, be one that looks to strengthen the bill. Yeah. And Representative D'Amico, did you want to comment?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I had two questions. I was looking for an explanation of the amendment, which the good minority leader supplied in abundance. And the second question was, did the chairs regard this as a friendly amendment? And I guess that's been answered as well.
2 for 2.
There we go.
Thank you, Representative.
Thank you.
Seeing no other comments or questions, we could have a voice vote on acceptance of this amendment. So all in favor?
Senator Flexer online had
Oh.
her hand raised.
Excellent. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Senator Flexer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to thank Senator Kelly for his introduction of this amendment and to thank him for his previous leadership and making Connecticut a national leader and making sure that when a person discovers that they are pregnant, that they can immediately have healthcare coverage. That was a huge change that we made. And I was proud to work with Senator Kelly, and I'm very grateful for his leadership on that issue then, and glad to see it continuing this morning on this bill moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Any other comments? If not, we'll have a voice vote for acceptance of this amendment to Senate Bill 1108. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? All right, so this bill is now amended. Any other comments on the now amended Senate Bill 1108? Yes, Representative Ware.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In reading some of the language, it talks about the continuity of care during holiday, vacation periods, and between semesters, and it talks about in between semesters. So are we proposing that if a student may be back home, I guess through the, they're not going to be on campus potentially, so would they not be seeking healthcare? I guess would we expect them to be seeking healthcare back home?
Well, I think the bill just defines, when it's the responsibility of the institution of higher education. And if the student is not on campus or, is at home on a break, then, it would not fall under their responsibility. That's my understanding of the language.
Oh,
Representative.
Yeah, I just want to point out that
Line 19 of this subsection 3, it refers to telehealth, which most check-ins with a doctor can occur, and then refer to the appropriate pharmacy for prescriptions and related healthcare.
Yeah, thank you. I was just finishing my thought, if I may. I guess we talked about, I guess it's a concern. I'll have to see. I'm concerned that this could be an additional burden on the college and the university system. So I'm gonna give that great consideration. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I stepped away from the conversation briefly, but my apologies. Did you have an outstanding question, Representative?
No, just
No.
making a statement. I'm concerned about the burden that this will add to our university system. And so I'll give that consideration. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Representative. Any other? Yes, Representative Cooling.
I have grave concerns about this bill adding extra burdens to the university system when we have healthcare facilities nearby, accessible by public transportation. The one issue that was brought up early in this session when this bill first appeared was the question regarding maternity wards in both Eastern and Western Connecticut, which is a broader question than just for university students. And that's something that should be addressed in a different committee. Again, for other areas in reproductive services, they're easily reachable from campus. For example, Willimantic has such facilities, and there is public bus service from the Storrs campus to Willimantic, and that's pretty much replicated across the state. So this bill seems to be addressing a problem that doesn't really exist and will be a cost to the university system and the taxpayers that is not one that needs to be borne. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Any other comments on the underlying bill? No. If not, we're going to stand in recess for just a moment. Thank you. No, not now, not right now. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We're gonna come back to order here, see if there's any additional conversation about Senate Bill 1108. Any other comments or questions about 1108? No, all right, Madam Clerk, can I ask you to call the roll for Senate Bill 1108, an act concerning access to reproductive health care by students at public institutions of higher education? With JFS language, and that LCO is again is 5664. Right, yes, and thank you, Representative Haddad, and now it has been amended with Senator Kelly's amendment. Thank you. You ready? Okay, you can call the roll. Thank you.
Yep, sorry. Representative Haddad, Senator Slapp,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes, Senator Kelly,
Senator Kelly votes yes.
Representative Rochelle, Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Arseno,
Representative Arseno votes yes.
Representative Brown, Representative Case,
Representative Case votes yes.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley votes no.
Representative D'Amico,
D'Amico votes yes.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu, Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney, Representative Paris, Representative Scott, Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir.
Rep Weir is no.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on now to number 7, House Bill number 6565. An act concerning the plan of the Board of Regents for Higher Education concerning the number of child care centers near campuses. Is there a motion to JF this bill? Representative Farrar is second with Representative Haddad. Any comments about this bill? Representative Weir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I see that in the language that we're pushing this back a year for for the release of the study. Was there any reason given that the study wasn't completed on time the first time? I may have missed that, but I'm just curious if there was any reason why it was not done on time.
I'm not aware of hearing any, Representative.
Bear with me. I do have one more question here. I want to find the correct line. So on line, well, I guess it talks about the plan to increase the number of line 7, Board of Regents for Higher Education in consultation with the Office of Early Childhood shall develop a plan to increase the number of child care centers on or near each campus. And it just seems to me that a plan to create more without a study determining that it's needed. I know they talk about a study and an assessment down on line 20, but should we be talking about, I'm concerned that the language says that we must develop a plan rather than study the need first. And maybe I'm missing something through you, Mr. Chair.
No, I think they're going to do those two things, Representative, in concert. And we heard in public hearing about the need. And I think this approach takes into account, nonprofits, community providers. It kind of takes a broad approach to determining what the capacity is, what the bandwidth is in the community, and, determining kind of how to address that. So, and I see that, to your earlier question, the original date was January 1st, 2023. So it need to be moved out. So, it's essentially a year from now, a little bit less. So I don't know if that answers your question, Representative, or anyone has any other Any other comments about this bill? Representative Case.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Fortunately, I mean, I agree with it moving out, but for a different concern, because we have childcare problems throughout the whole state, and I think we need to work on workforce development to get people developed in order to be in this field. I mean, I can't get daycare for my child because we are full in the northwest corner. We are full because they're at statutory limits for how many people can be in the daycare facility. So we need to be careful. We need to look at that and make sure we're having the problem with the nursing homes, with the hospitals. If we can't staff them, we can't put a plan together in order to add these to the different areas that we want to. So, you know, it will take another year. It might take another 5 years, depending on how we can get people to work in this field. So I think we need to look at it, let them put their plan together. It doesn't implement anything, but I think it's going to be a bigger feat than we think. It's happening all over the place. I remember Rep. Haddad bringing his little one into the chambers all the time, and you know, it's always good to see, but they belong out with their other kids. So I appreciate it. I will be voting for it today.
Thank you, Representative Case. Representative Cooley.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, going down the road. We gotta be careful that we are not opening up where we're just robbing Peter to pay Paul. Until we have the workers to fill the slots, opening up more daycare places and others, you're just gonna shift the existing workers around, which could close other facilities. So there's a lot of moving parts here that really need to be looked at seriously, and I've got concerns in that since my understanding is they really didn't even do any of the study, let alone complete it. So we're gonna kick the study down the road. They've got to do the study so that we're looking at the multiple balls that are in the air, because any move that we do is gonna have an impact on the childcare industry overall. If we are opening up childcare facilities at the public institutions, those workers are coming from somewhere. If they're coming from the private daycares, that's going to have a huge impact on them. So this study has to be done seriously. And I have questions as to whether it's going to be done, since it's been kind of kicked down the road and there doesn't seem to have been any work done on it. So, I mean, this is a serious issue. We have a serious lack of workers in this field. And if the study is going to be done, it has to be done seriously. And I have concerns of whether it's going to be done given the track record so far. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Cooley. Representative Farrar.
Thank you, Chairman. I do appreciate not just the indication from my colleagues about the importance of childcare, but also when I was looking at this bill, some of the additional language we put in here about opportunities for collaboration with other state agencies, federal programs, community organizations, and nonprofits, because I think we do know that this is really an interagency approach. And I think that, again, our higher education institutions aren't on an island. And I appreciate that this plan is really going to specify how that collaboration can happen. And I do think that a lot of our college campuses across the state also can particularly be close, not just to new facilities, but a lot of potential for more at-home childcare, which meets the needs of students and their flexible schedules. So I completely understand, again, the recognition of the importance of this topic, but I just wanted to highlight that I do also appreciate the language change here that really specifies that there's collaboration happening with these other agencies that are working on this same issue. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Turco.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Central Connecticut State University recently opened an early childhood care center on campus. I attended its open house and was extremely impressed by the collaboration with different departments on campus, the opportunity it's given for students who are studying early childhood education to be there as their internships, practicum, jobs. Students told stories about how they would have had to drop out of college when they found out that they were pregnant and had no access to childcare if it wasn't for the child care center at Central Connecticut State University. So it's making a huge difference in the impact of the students and their education and the students that are attending. And I know the Office of Early Childhood Education worked extensively with the Board of Regents, with the administration at Central Connecticut State University to create that childcare center. From my conversations with them that day, and then since then, they have a lot of intention of continuing to collaborate and work on this, and maybe this model could be used and replicated throughout the state. So I do think there's intention to put together this plan, and I think this plan is going to be very helpful for us as the Higher Education Committee in looking on how we can extend this model that Central has throughout the state. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Turco. Seeing no other comments or questions, we'd ask the clerk to call the roll on House Bill 6566, an act concerning the plan of the Board of Regents Higher Education concerning the number of childcare centers near campuses. 6565, thank you. I transposed that. Thank you. House Bill 6565. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for calling the roll.
Representative Haddad. Senator Slapp,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes. Senator Kelly. Representative Rochelle. Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Arceno,
Representative Arceno votes yes.
Representative Brown. Representative Case,
Representative Case votes yes.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley votes yes.
Representative D'Amico,
D'Amico votes yes.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu. Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney, Representative Paris, Representative Scott, Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir.
Rep Weir is yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And next on our agenda is number 10, House Bill number 6773. Give JFS language. LCO is 5663. It's an act concerning the needs of housing insecure students at public institutions of higher education. Is there a motion to JFS this bill?
So moved.
Moved by Representative Haddad and seconded by Representative Johnson. Any comments or questions about this bill? Representative Weir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I noticed that on line 50, let me just get this brought up here. We talk about hiring an employee. Bear with me, I should have had this pulled up. Get to work here. Actually, let me just find this, and I'd like to come back if I may, please.
Yep. Anyone else while we're waiting for Representative Weir? Any other? Yes, Representative Haddad.
Just to state the obvious, just so folks know, I mean, the substitute language actually changed line 50 from employ a staff member to designate a staff member. That was at the request of the institutions who were supportive of the initiative, but wanted to ensure that they could use existing staff to meet the qualifications, right? So that's one thing. I just wanted to say that I think that this is really important legislation, like just like the last one, there are a number of barriers to students earning their degree that are outside of, academic ability for sure, and even financial ability to pay for their tuition. Childcare is one, but homelessness, it turns out to be a bigger issue than one might hope for, certainly than one would hope for. In 2018, we asked the state university system to work with others to sort of do a study of students on their campuses. We had some testimony about this in the hearing. A fourth of respondents said that they weren't staying in a safe place. 15% identified themselves as homeless or living in unstable housing. A third said they couldn't stay in one place for as long as they needed, to indicating that they were likely couch surfing. This is a significant issue on college campuses. I myself have met students who, some who, quite remarkable, students who were able to earn a degree against all odds while living out of the back of a car or couch surfing on a friend's in a friend's apartment. I think that we need to get a handle around this, and certainly there are resources that are available to students if they felt comfortable identifying themselves to the institutions, that institutions could do a little work to make sure, as I'm sure they're eager to do, a little work to make sure that students are in stable, secure housing. And that's what this bill really aims to do. And I hope the committee will support it.
Thank you, Representative Haddad. Representative Weir.
Thank you. Yes, I did. I guess I should have started with line 46, where it talks about employ a staff member or designate. And then it jumps to line 50, where it says, I'm looking at employ, but let's just say a designee. In addition to that staff member employed pursuant to subdivision 4, who serves as a liaison for the institution of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer students who are homeless or experiencing housing insecurity, is, I guess, how is that person chosen, and why is that different from the person in line 46?
Representative Haddad.
Well, the institution would choose the appropriate people on their campuses to provide the counseling and services that are required under the bill, and referrals. But I think it's clear from the information that I've seen. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of this, but let me just say I certainly understand that certain communities are more deeply affected because of the disaffection that sometimes they might feel from their families, because of who they are or how they choose to live their life. And so we see in certain populations a greater need and greater, and so that I think this provision is born out of that greater need for the LGBTQ community, to just make sure that we have people on campuses who are able to speak specifically to their needs, because we know their needs are more prevalent than you'd see in the general population.
Thank you, Representative Haddad. Great. Yes, Representative Cooley.
Well, I agree. Homelessness is a serious issue across the board. I'm not sure that adding another area of financial burden to the colleges and universities in the state is going to make our college system more affordable for the vast majority of residents in the state. I have serious questions as to the cost regarding this, the practicality on some of the detailed elements in this, and how the cost is going to be borne by students across the system in terms of fees and tuition. Nothing is free, and every time the colleges and universities are acting outside of their core function, it's like adding barnacles to the ship. They become less effective overall in their primary mission. And there's an old saying about mission creep. I just think this is just an element that could be dealt with by the proper agencies within the state, other than the universities and colleges creating a whole nother bureaucratic structure. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Cooley. I do want to just note that we did not hear from our institutions of higher educations that this would, result in tuition increases or increased costs. So I think that's important for members to know as they're evaluating, deciding their vote on this bill. Yes, Senator Mar.
Just for clarification, what I heard, I believe Representative Haddad say was that this was going to be a current staff member being designated to do this work. Hence, there won't be an additional cost. Is that correct?
That is correct. The way that it's written is they're designating somebody. They're not mandated to hire anybody. Thank you, Senator. Representative Cooley.
Even if you designate someone to cover it, there's a certain amount of their primary responsibilities that have to be then transferred to somebody else to cover the man hours or woman hours, employee hours. That's just a function of economic law. So there will be some cost. How it's borne and how it's shifted is a question that we will see down the road.
Thank you, Senator Mar.
That presumes that that person is not already doing work within the housing and working in interface with students, and perhaps could be just an additional component of work they're already doing. So we will see, as you said, down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, I would ask the clerk to call I'm just double checking my screen here and I don't see any there either. So call the roll for House Bill number 6773. There is JFS language, LCO number 5663, and it's an act concerning the needs of housing insecure students at public institutions of higher education. Madam Clerk, thank you for calling the roll.
Representative Haddad. Senator Slapp,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes. Senator Kelly. Representative Rochelle. Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Arceno,
Representative Arceno votes yes.
Representative Brown. Representative Case,
Representative Case votes no.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley votes no.
Representative D'Amico,
D'Amico votes yes.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu. Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney. Representative Paris. Representative Scott. Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir.
Rep Weirs, no.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on, our next item on the agenda is House Bill number 6774, an act concerning post-secondary education. Is there a motion to JF this bill?
So moved.
Thank you, both representatives, Representative Haddad with moving the bill and Representative Haynes with the second. Any comments or questions? Representative Case? No? All right, Representative Case is okay with us. So, all right. If not, we'll ask the clerk to call the roll here for House Bill number 67. Oh, I'm sorry, Representative Cooley. I missed you. My apologies.
I just want to make sure that I'm reading this correctly. I have it listed as currently a dummy bill. There's nothing in that? What's the bill? 6774. What's the details in it?
I would never insult the intelligence of any piece of legislation. So sometimes these are referred to as placeholders, but I would note that this one and Senate Bill number 936 really give us some flexibility going forward. There are issues that come up during session. You know, what's happening with Stone Academy being one. And I would hope that we'd be able to continue to work, collaboratively through the process in the next few months as this session progresses.
Mr. Chair, could we actually create a bill stating that we want to deal with Stone Academy and being a little more specific than just totally open-ended? Would that be a possibility?
We have a few months left. So I think, I would love the opportunity to work collaboratively with you in the next few months. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? Representative Case.
I knew you flagged it for some reason.
I was
Fleming.
looking out for you, Representative.
Yeah, so, and I agree with Representative Cooley. I would much rather see a bill that has definitive language on what we're doing. In all committees, I've always asked that we know we're moving forward. I can't support a bill that doesn't have definitive language, so I will say it is a placeholder and we have statutory reasons why we have dates to bring stuff forward, and I think it should have content in it.
Thank you, Representative. Representative D'Amico.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to echo your comments from a couple minutes ago for the committee members as well as the general public. Doing a placeholder bill such as the one before us right now allows us flexibility for future contingencies, exigency. Did I say that right? Exigencies that may happen in the future. And I think it's just a good practice, and I am confident that it won't be abused. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Weir.
Yeah, I just like to echo my colleagues. I think, we're well into the session now. I understand that, some exigencies could come up, close, one of us got it right. I'm not sure which one, but we have the opportunity, I think, to add and maybe add that down the road as part of something else. But I'm very concerned with leaving this as open-ended as we are. So I'll be voting no today to flag it.
Thank you, Representative. Any other comments? Yes, Representative Cooley.
I would agree with my colleague Representative Weir on my inclination to vote against. But given the chair's comments regarding the situation with Stone Academy, which is a serious problem, I will vote in favor of this one placeholder bill so that we can deal with that situation. This does not mean that I will be voting for future placeholder bills, but I do see the serious need in this case for a placeholder bill at this time. So I will be in favor of this placeholder bill for that specific purpose. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative. Seeing no other comments, I would ask the clerk to call the roll on House Bill number 6774, an act concerning post-secondary education. And this is JF.
Representative Haddad,
Representative Haddad votes yes.
Senator Slapp,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes, Senator Kelly, Representative Rochelle, Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Aiseno,
Representative votes yes.
Representative Brown, Representative Case,
No.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley, based on the concerns that I just raised. Thank you.
Representative D'Amico,
D'Amico votes yes.
That was Cooley. Yes, sorry.
Representative D'Amico.
D'Amico votes yes,
Thank
again.
you. I
Okay,
apologize.
that's okay.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu, Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney, Representative Paris,
Representative Paris votes yes.
Representative Scott, Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir.
Rep Weir is no.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to number 12 on our agenda, Senate Bill number 936. This is an act concerning workforce development. I'd be looking for a motion to JF this bill.
I'll make that motion.
Representative Haddad makes the motion, Senator Mar with the second, Representative Case. No, you take a pass on this one. All right. I can't resist. My apologies. Any other comment or questions about Senate Bill number 936? Nope. If not, I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Representative Haddad,
Representative Haddad votes yes.
Senator Slapp,
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Representative Haynes, Senator Kelly, Representative Rochelle. Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Riceno,
Representative votes yes.
Representative Brown. Representative Case,
No.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley, no.
Representative D'Amico,
D'Amico votes yes.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu, Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney, Representative Paris,
Representative Paris votes yes.
Representative Scott, Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir.
Rep. Weirs, no.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The last bill on our agenda is House Bill number 6354. There is JFS language. LCO, I believe it's 5646. Is that? Okay, correct. Can't read my writing always. This is an act establishing a Green Jobs Corps program. Looking for a motion to JFS this bill. Representative Johnson, thank you. And Representative Haddad, second. Any questions or comments on this bill? Seeing none, I would ask the clerk to call the roll on House Bill number 6354, JFS language 5646, and this is to JF the bill. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Representative Haddad, Senator Slapp,
Senator Slav votes yes.
Representative Haynes, Senator Kelly, Representative Rochelle, Senator Mar,
Senator Mar votes yes.
Representative Riceno,
Representative votes yes.
Representative Brown, Representative Case,
Representative Case, yes.
Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley, yes.
Representative D'Amico,
D'Amico votes yes.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Senator Flexer,
Senator Flexer votes yes.
Representative Fortier,
Representative Fortier votes yes.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Lanu, Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Senator Maroney, Representative Paris,
Representative Paris votes yes.
Representative Scott, Representative Turco,
Representative Turco votes yes.
Representative Weir.
Rep. Weirs, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So that concludes our business for today. We're going to stand in recess for 1 hour to give members who are not able to vote time to either come onto the Zoom call with our clerk or to come to the Higher Education Committee area to vote on the bills if they did not have the opportunity to do that. So again, we're going to stand in recess. We will either be meeting Thursday or Tuesday. Our JF deadline is the 14th, so we have a limited time to get our business done, but we'll be making that announcement as soon as we can. All right, that'll do it. We will stand in recess. Thank you. Yeah, until 2:10. Thank you.
Okay. You do an amazing job to run these things. Thank you. I appreciate that. Are there any of the JFS that you posted?
Hi, Madam Clerk.
Just one last meeting.
I got you down for all of the vote center votes, so I think it should be all set. The meeting,
I appreciate it. Just want to make sure I didn't miss the consent calendar or anything.
yeah, no, you were here for the consent calendar, you're all set.
All right, have a nice day.
You as well, bye.
So is it this Thursday or next Tuesday? Yeah, is it this Thursday next Tuesday? Their deadline is like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all those reports, right? All right, thank you.
Have a good day. So we're going to vote for-
Yeah. Yeah. I would do. It's like Richmond.
I need the Miko, so you told them Miko needs to go, that's right.
Yeah.
I'll go on long one.
Can't do the other end. Or shall we send- I don't know, it's crazy.
I don't know anything.
I don't know.
You just, there. Hello, Representative Scott.
So we verified like. Hold on one second. We verified. How are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Good. You ready for me?
Yes.
All
So
right.
we had a consent calendar made
Okay.
for a couple of bills. It was items 5, 6, 8, 9, 13, 14, and 16. Do you want me to read them to you?
Hold on, sorry. I just want to make note. So 5, 6, 8, 9. And what else?
13, 14, and 16.
Okay. I can read those off. my votes on those. You don't need to read them through if you don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so for number 5, HB 6355, I'm a yes.
Okay, so actually.
Oh, sorry, it's consent. So sorry, consent. Yeah, all of them, I'll be a yes.
And
on
one
all of those
vote.
for consent. Yep.
If you want to just read them off real quick,
Yep.
like,
So for the consent calendar, it includes HB 6355,
Uh-huh.
includes HB 6564, includes SB 1043, HB 6771, SB 982, SB 1104, and HB 6567, which make up the consent calendar. I am a vote of yes.
okay, thank you.
Great. All right, then we'll go back to the top if we can. We'll go through
Yep.
the rest of the order.
So was HB 5027, and act requiring the establishment of student health service at the regional campuses of the University of Connecticut.
I'm a yes.
Okay. The next one was HB 5232, an act prohibiting public institutions of higher education from receiving money for soliciting students to gamble online.
I'm a yes.
Next one was SB 8, an act concerning higher education, affordability, and graduate retention.
I'm a yes.
Next one is SB 1108, an act concerning access to reproductive health care by students at public institutions of higher education.
For that
This
one,
is-
I'm a no. I'm sorry.
This is what S language and an amendment provided by Senator Kelly.
Okay, Senator Kelly, and that was approved. The amendment was approved.
Yes, it passed with a voice vote.
I'm still going to be a no on that one, though.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you have all the details.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
HB 6565, and that concerning the plan of Board of Regents for higher education concerning the number of childcare centers near campuses.
Okay, I'm a yes on that one.
HB 6773, and that concerning the needs of housing insecure students at public institutions of higher education.
I am a no on 6773.
Okay. HB 6774, and that concerning post-secondary education.
I'm a no on 6774.
Okay. SB 936, and that concerning workforce development.
Okay, I'm a no on 936.
Okay. HB 6354, an act establishing a Green Job Corps program.
I'm a yes on that one, 6354.
And that is it.
That's it. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Let me just find one. I think we- Okay. So, okay. Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, and that's the first you read. Yep, you had the first one. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we gotta have it. You gotta wait until we announce this. This one is a consent calendar that had items 5, 6, 8, 9, 13, 14, and 16. Yeah.
Circle them on this one. So the ones that are supposed to represent.
The consent calendar is 5, 6.
It's
Oh, you have one.
So,
that
they're still applying and anyway, if it's university, it's not the option to accept the person, how would it?
It's the university. Why don't you do it? I will vote yes.
I see. Okay, the next one was HB 5027, and that's requiring the establishment of student health services at the regional campuses of the University of Connecticut. Yep. The next one is HB 5232, and that's prohibiting the public institutions of higher education from receiving money for soliciting students to gamble online. Okay. Let me see this one. I have you for that one. I think that's it. I think I have you down for everything else. Yes. Yeah, it was odd. Yep, I made you guys. You're all set. Thank you. Of course. Thank you. Okay, figure out the document. I'm gonna head over. Yeah. Hi,
All right,
Rebecca.
Jazz. I knew what you were
Ignore the-
calling for, so I just signed on.
Yeah, ignore the voicemail I was about to leave.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just get them out real quick. So, sorry, I'm just finding where we have off.
I think there's another amendment to the
Okay, yeah. So SB 1108 and not concerning access to reproductive health care by students at public institutions of higher education.
Yep. Is that with the Second Amendment in there?
It is with the amendment made by Senator Kelly. It was passed by a voice vote, the amendment.
Oh, with the okay. So Representative Brown votes yes.
Okay. The next one is HB 6565 and not concerning the plan of Board of Regents for higher education concerning the number of childcare centers near campus.
How did the chairs vote on that?
They voted affirmative.
Okay. Representative Brown votes yes.
HB 6773 and not concerning the needs of housing insecure students at public institutions of higher education.
Okay. Representative Brown votes yes.
Next is HB 6774 and not concerning post-secondary education.
I didn't really hear you on that one.
Sorry, and act concerning post-secondary education.
Oh, yes. Representative Brown votes yes.
Next one is SB 936 and act concerning workforce development.
Yeah. Representative Brown votes yes.
And then the last one is an act establishing a Green Job Corps program, 6354. Did you hear me?
Yep. Representative Brown votes yes.
Awesome, and that's everything.
Thank you, Jazz.
Yeah, have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. I figured I'll shift in here so I wouldn't make them walk because of. Make them walk. So we had a consent calendar meeting in the beginning, and so it included HB 6355, and I increasing the number of student members of board of trustees in the university. HB 6564, and I concerning the unfunded pension. Sorry, I just, SB 1043, and I concerning the Roberto Lewis Foundation. HB 6771, and I implementing the recommendations. Yep. SB 982, and I implemented the governor's budget. SB 1104, and act implemented recommendations of the Connecticut Health. And then, HB 6567, act requiring the public institutions, establish a policy regarding freedom of expressions on campus.
Okay.
So how do you vote for that concept?
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. So now, first vote was HB 5027, and that requiring the establishment of student health services at the regional campus of the University of Connecticut. HB 5232, an act prohibiting the public institutions of higher education from receiving money for soliciting students to gamble online.
Yes.
SB 8, an act concerning higher education affordability and graduate retention.
Yes.
SB 1108, an act concerning access to reproductive health care by students at public institution of higher education. This did have S language and also an amendment provided by Senator Kelly. The amendment did pass for the vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. SB 6565, and act concerning the plan of board of regions for higher education concerning the number of childcare centers near campuses.
Yes.
HB 6773, and act concerning the needs of housing insecure students at public institutions of higher education.
Yes.
HB 6774, and act concerning post-secondary education.
Yes.
SB 936, and act concerning workforce development.
Yes.
And then finally, HB 6354, and act establishing the Green Jobs Corps program.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Okay.
Senator Kelly, I'll be with you, real quick. I'm just taking another member's vote. Yeah, Rep. Harris. Okay. HB 5232, and act prohibiting the public institutions of higher education from receiving money for soliciting students to gamble online. Oh, wait, I have one. Sorry. I apologize. An act concerning access to reproductive health care by students at public institutions of higher education, 1108.
Yes.
HB 6565, and act concerning the plan of board of regents for higher education concerning the number of child care centers near campuses. HB 6773, and act concerning the needs of housing insecure students at public institutions of higher education. Awesome, thank you. Have a good day. No problem. Hi, Senator Kelly, I apologize for the delay.
There we go.
Hello, so I'm just gonna read off the ones I need your roll for. So HB 6774, and act concerning post-secondary education.
HB 6774,
Yep, 6774.
Senator Kelly votes yes.
Awesome. Next one is SB 936, and act concerning workforce development.
Senator Kelly votes yes.
Next one is HB 6354, and act establishing a green job course program.
Senator Kelly votes yes.
Next one is HB 6565, and act concerning the plan of board of regents for higher education concerning the number of childcare centers near campuses.
6565.
Yep.
Senator Kelly votes yes.
Okay. 6773, and not concerning the needs of housing insecure students at public institutions of higher education.
Senator Kelly votes yes.
Let me just double check on my papers. And with that, you are all set, Senator Kelly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget you got executive now.